that person can crawl up out of that, ain't no sense in, you know, jumping on the bandwagon now. Let's just say that we love each other and you do what you do.
So do you think...
That's how I feel.
Do you think maybe, like, I think the last show you did was April 9th in Texas with Crazy and Lazy. Is there a time...
Austin, Texas.
Austin, yeah. Is there a time where, or soon, you're talking about moving forward, is there a time where you think that you won't be a part of any of that at all? Like, I mean...
Well, you got to remember, we had a discussion in Austin, Texas, and they really wanted to know where I was coming from. I'm not a heartless type of person. I'm more or less a person that is going to state how I feel and roll with my people as long as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we sat down, we had a discussion. It didn't go, you know, the way of us being a crew and moving under one mind and one sound unit, so we parted ways.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy left first, then Lazy. I stayed in Austin, came to Houston, and now we're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually did have a discussion, like, okay, do you guys really want to do this stuff? I mean, are we going to be talking about the same thing? You know, because it got to be the point to where they was like, you know, something about they never understood my lyrics. Their subject matter was completely different than my subject matter. When they wanted to rap fast, I was rapping slow, and it was so many different issues. And I'm saying, well, we're going to have to be on one accord if we're going to do this. Everyone decided to go their separate ways. And I'm not trying to bump my head up against a brick wall. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and be free and not allow anyone to put handcuffs on me or, you know what I'm saying, try to play a position that, you know, they're not willing to play.
So what happened, like, a lot of the stuff you're talking about now, I guess, stems from chemistry and stuff like that. What happened between, I'd say, Resurrection, which is an album I like, to up until now, where that chemistry kind of left?
We know the Ruthless Records ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we understand that. You know, when you're breaking bread together and everybody's living in the same place and not on no punk stuff, just really sticking with each other through thick and thin, going through the twists and the turns of life as youth. And once money comes into play and women come into play and those that and Ruthless Records and Easy dies of AIDS and Tamika takes over, and that type of stuff's going on over there, and that starts happening, and then money starts getting short, and instead of you getting your check, you got people putting credit cards down for your room and then adding up the money together and saying that this money isn't here and this money's spent up and cross-collateralizing and and it goes to the point to where it's like you wake up in the morning and, I mean, even... It's just a crazy situation to have to delve so deep into.
Mm-hmm.
That what's done is done, what's known is known, you know, and this is the way it is. And, you know, I've actually sat down and tried to speak with these fellas and say, okay, this is what's going on. If you guys were thinking was something wrong with me and I was confused, this is what's up. I mean, we sat down, we had a beer together, you know, we did the show together and, you know, the different things that were going on, and I put it down how I felt. And everybody has their own thing that they're doing. And I'm not just going to ride with what someone else wants me to do. I'm going to do what the Lord tells me to do. And to me, the best thing to do, whether people feel like they're hearing it or not, or if people feel like they're spiritual or not or whatever, I know the best thing to do is to praise God and to keep on praising. And to keep on praising. Now, some people may praise like C.C. Winans. Some people might praise like Kirk Franklin. But they're still praising. And I really, really feel like that's very, very important. You know what I'm saying? To have individuality and to do what you feel in your heart. And that's what's up.
It seems from talking to you now, there's a lot of different issues and things that have gone that could make you rather upset, right? That could pretty much dominate you and drive you to do certain things. Where would you say you're at right now, artistically and personally, in terms of moving?
I don't know about domination, but I think that my only problem is to be hurt. I just don't want to be hurt. I just don't want to be talked to disrespectfully. I would like to have the same respect as I give a person.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's really, really how I feel about it. I just really feel that way. And I'd much rather go to shelters and be around people that have problems that wouldn't put themselves in a position to even do anything like that. You know? And anger is something that I stray away from. I'd much rather let it go. I'm like, okay, that's how you want to do it? Fine. I'm down with that, too.
Mm-hmm.
And keep moving. And that's really how I feel about the situation, you know? Respect is something that, you know, when you give it, you expect to receive it back. And if you don't, hey, sometimes you just got to wash your hands of the situation and we'll see what happens.
You talk about respect. You used the word a couple times in that last answer. And you're part of one of the most fickle industries that you could be part of.
Whoa.
Do you think, people judging you, and it's people buying records just on the way something's packaged rather than, you know what I mean, the substance. Do you think you get that respect within the industry that you're part of?
I really don't worry about the industry so much like that. I think that record sales speak for themselves. Raw format speaks for itself. Lyrics speak for itself. And you always have to be able to step to the side and show another person extra love in order to make that magnetism connect. So, I mean, that's pretty much how I look at the situation. And if you're not, it's just like bumping heads, you know? If you got a positive and a positive, hey, you got a love child, you know? And to me, that's what's real, you know? A lot of people wouldn't agree with it, but, you know, we break it down to molecules, man. You can put a microscope on people, and it's a little bit, it's not as thick as people would think it is. It's milk and it's honey. And that's really what it is.
Just a few more questions. I know we've gone on for a little bit here, but you right now, the last couple of years, since The Gift, have been doing a majority of your work independently and moving forward on your own. Do you have any aspirations of maybe signing with a major and taking a little bit of the stress off and trying to get that?
I would really, really love to actually just lean back and relax, just do music. I've, you know, gone to the churches and I've asked to put out gospel albums and different things of that nature. If people aren't willing to do it, it's nothing I can do about that. I have to keep moving forward and just keep doing what needs to be done and not too much really worry about the stress factor, because stress is going to come in without the music. Music is my joy. You know, that is me being able to release, me being able to let that other stuff go and just really focusing and concentrating on just singing and enjoying it. And that's really what it is. I mean, it's a simple thing. It's a very calm thing, and, you know, it's real easy. Not even hard at all. I'm laying up, relaxing in the bed. Nobody's here. I don't have women beating down my door. I don't have men beating down my door. There's a lot of evil spirits that want to come around and set a precedent, but I understand that those are just precious rubies, man. You know, just precious little rubies, you know. Really, it's really what it is. And what people succumb to is what they succumb to, depending on how strong they are. I mean, I've watched the guy on the Snake Channel wrestle down a huge Komodo dragon, and there are people around that can't even wrestle down a microscopic message. So I tend to just understand where they're coming from and try my best to just continue to love them and just keep on going. And I find myself relaxing in this position, and it's good to be able to speak to you because I really haven't heard anything in the air as far as bad things. We're really focusing right now on this conversation, and it is a blessing. I'm going to tell you, because the things that I have to deal with are pretty hefty on me, buddy. Pretty hefty, but, you know, that's life, and some people can deal with it, and other people will probably think the person that's dealing with it must be crazy, you know. And then when they can't drive them crazy, they're like, okay, maybe he's sane.
Mm-hmm.